father's house on
Yeah.
Ocean Avenue.
I don't know who the people are.
When did your
I don't,
father die?
when did my father
Yeah. When
Died.
did Tom, your father die?
1970.
1970. He lived to 1970.
Mhm.
And then and Mom.
1976.
75, was it?
76.
76.
Are you the only one that's left in your family?
Mhm.
My sister. No, right now, I'm the only one alive.
Yeah, your
My
sister
sister
died.
died too.
Yeah. So it's just you. Okay. And tell me now. Did you go to the grade school in Bohemia?
Yep, I went through the school. I couldn't even tell you who my teachers were.
Okay. Let's hear. Who were they?
When I went to grade school in Bohemia, I didn't know what the English language was. All I
Yeah.
knew was Czech.
That's right.
But I was lucky. I had Ellen Wexon, first and second grade.
Helen Wexon, which she was Miss Trinkwald after that. Yeah.
Well, at that time she was Ellen Wexon. The third and fourth grade was Maestricht.
Evelyn?
Evelyn Maestricht.
That's right.
And she only taught me in the third grade, because then in the fourth grade I had a woman that was Miss Latticia. She taught. That was when John Pearl came principal of Bohemia School. Before that, Keyes was the principal.
Oh, Keyes. Yes, Keyes.
Yeah, he
Right.
was.
Yeah.
And then from there, when Miss Latticia came there and John Pearl, they moved Helen Wexon up to the 5th and 6th grade, and I had her in the 5th and 6th grade. Then I had John Pearl in the
Oh, yeah, of
7th
course.
and
Yeah.
8th.
Yeah.
Then I
yeah.
went to high school,
Yeah. Go to Sable High School?
Right.
When did you graduate from Sable High School?
1940.
1940. I wasn't even born yet.
Isn't that nice?
And I can tell you, when we used to be on, like there was Rudy Vrana, that was Mildred Vrana's brother. Rudy Vrana, myself, Larry Benedict, my sister, there's a couple others. That is when your mother, she tried to start an orchestra
Oh, yeah.
in
Yeah.
the house there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's when, well, she was young then. I would say she was in her early 20s, maybe 21, somewhere in there, when she tried to start this orchestra between us, the kids. She used to teach us.
You teach everybody,
You
yeah.
do that, you do this. And that's
What instrument did you
and
play?
then also,
He did.
your mother and your grandfather, that would be her father, they used to play every Saturday night in the CSA Hall,
That's right.
Chesky music. She
Yes.
played the piano and he played the fiddle.
That's right.
And Joe Weigel played the trumpet, and Bill Stucco played the
Drums.
Right.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
My computer is still there.
Yeah, yeah. You bring back a lot of memories for me. You really do.
I can remember a lot. That's good.
When you guys, how did you get from Bohemia to the Sable High School every day?
Bus.
Who drove the bus?
That was Stryker's bus.
Stryker's bus.
Strikers had the bus, I think, to run us to school, to Sable School. Because like Sable High School was like a central school district
Yeah.
then, at that
Yeah.
time, because you had Oakdale, Bohemia, Lake Ronkonkoma, Lakeland, Holbrook, Lake Grove, they all,
Everybody came here. Yeah.
they all went to Sable High School.
I didn't know they came as far as Lake Grove. Lake Grove
Yeah.
too, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
And then okay, so now let's see, we're to high school, and did you belong to the fire department in Bohemia?
Did I belong to the fire?
In
No.
Bohemia, no? You
The
don't
reason
belong-
I couldn't, when I graduated out of high school, I went working up in Bridgeport, Connecticut, for General Electric.
Oh, what were you
So
doing?
I was living
What did-
up
what did
there.
you-
I'll tell you who I was living with up there too, and
Oh.
she came from Bohemia too. That was Mrs. Ruby,
Ruby.
Star Street Ruby.
Ah.
She married a guy from Bridgeport, and that's where I was staying up there when I worked up there.
And what were you doing up there? What kind of work were you
I
doing?
worked for General Electric,
Doing what? What did you do?
making washing machines.
Oh my goodness.
That was during the Depression before World War II. That was when that Depression was, World War II. In other words, there was myself, Wally Watland, Edwin Hauserbar. We all went up there looking for jobs. And I was the only one to get the job out of all three of us.
Wow. And so you stayed up there with
And
who?
I'd come home on a weekend because I had a night shift from 4 to midnight, I think it was the shift I had.
And so how long were you up there in Bridgeport? Did you go in the service?
Yeah.
No. Then I got a job with Western Electric.
Oh, yeah.
After that, and I got a job with Western Electric, and I didn't work too long for them, and then I went in the service,
Which branch?
the Navy.
The Navy. And where were you stationed? What? Where?
On
What ocean did you go on?
a ship,
Which ship?
USS Snowden,
USS Snowden. And
destroyer,
and
escort.
just- So you were here on the Atlantic, going back and forth?
Yeah.
No, we didn't go back and forth.
Yeah.
We were an attack force.
Yeah.
An attack force was what we were in the Atlantic Ocean, what they called the attack force. That was, we were assigned to an aircraft carrier, which we were hunting German submarines.
Gosh.
That was our duty.
Ah.
Okay. We're in the books. I got books here.
You got books. You
I
have
got,
books.
there's a couple of books. We're in, on my ship.
Is your name on the monument in Bohemia?
Did I what?
Is your name on the war monument?
Yeah,
Is it there?
Yes, it is. All of us on Julius, myself,
Yeah.
Anthony,
Well, it's got some-
we're all there on that monument.
Yeah.
And my father is on that
Because your
monument.
mom was very. She used to collect money. She used to collect money for that war monument. I got pictures of her
Yeah.
collecting money.
All right, now, you got also then of the other Emma. There was two Emmas.
No, but I know
Don't get
you're.
it mixed
No,
up.
I know you're Emma.
The other Emma was just as big. She was a big roly-poly too. That was Anthony's mother. That was Joseph Tuma's wife.
No,
She was a hobo. Hobo.
that's different. Your mom, Emma Thuma,
That's
that
right.
Emma used to walk up to my grandmother's house all the
Right.
time, and she used to come in and she'd sit at the kitchen table and talk to my grandma. They'd have a cup of
Right.
coffee. You
Right.
know, I remember that very clearly.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, always.
She always walked over there.
Yes, yes.
See, they used to call them. My mother was Little Emma, and the other Emma was Big Emma.
I didn't know that one, but I know you. I remember your mom real well.
Little.
Yeah. So okay, so you were in the service. When did you marry Thelma?
Oh, let's see if he knows this.
I did.
Let's see.
1945.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it right.
68 years ago.
68. Wonderful years, though.
Yeah, pretty good.
Good years. Good.
Yeah.
And did you live in Bohemia when you first got married, or did you live here in West Salem? Did she drag you to
Well,
West? Did you meet her in school?
No.
No.
Well, she was in school, yes, but I wasn't.
His
I was
sister
in the
introduced
service.
us.
Oh.
I was in the service. She was still in school,
Ah.
in
Okay.
high school.
How did you meet Thelma then?
Through your sister.
Yeah, through my sister.
Yeah.
If you remember that.
What?
That's
You
somebody-
can interrupt.
Why don't you include Thumma over here also?
No, I
Well,
don't.
now you
No,
can
no.
come. Now, why don't you come and sit over here now
Yeah.
while we're talking
that's
about
it.
about you? Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
You're part of his family.
What?
What now?
That's gonna be better.
We're moving Thelma over here so that you can talk about married life.
Married life.
It's wonderful, right?
Can you,
So we married, we got two
you
children,
get the three?
a boy and a
It's all
girl.
right.
Three? You wanna be
No,
here?
no, no.
Yes.
Fine. No, I'd rather be here. I want
Yes.
to talk to. Don't. You got nothing to say about this.
I just
Sure he
did.
has.
No, he doesn't. I want to talk to them. This is their history. I'm just here talking. All right, so you got married in 1945.
Right.
And where did you live in 1945?
Where did I live in 45?
Yeah, the
I was
two of you.
I was still in the Navy when I got married.
Oh, you left her.
I got married. I had a 6-day. The ship pulled into Brooklyn Navy Yard. I had 6-day leave off the ship, and that's when we got married.
There you go, and you left again.
And then I
Married on a
left.
Monday night, so that we'd have the whole week before he left again on Sunday.
Oh, see that? That's good planning. Good planning. Very nice.
Then after I got on the ship, they found out that I got married, and those on those ships, they didn't want no married men. They had to be all single men. So what it behold, they dumped me off in Newfoundland. And then it took me a month to get off of Newfoundland to get back to the States here.
Oh, wow. I didn't know any of that. Wow, I didn't know that they
Yep.
didn't let married men on the... Oh, wow. Very interesting.
Yep.
My Uncle Emil was in the Philippines, in the cavalry.
Yeah.
And you were on the oceans, attacking. That's something else. That's
Every
something
day
else.
I reported to the airport to fly out of there, and every day it snowed up there, so the flights were canceled every single day. Finally, I got a PBY out of there into Sydney, Nova Scotia, and then I took the train down to Boston from Sydney, Nova Scotia.
That was love. That was
That
love.
was a cold ride. I was in charge of about 4 guys. I had 4 guys I was in charge of to bring down with me from up there.
That was sheer love bringing you home.
Yeah. Then when I hit Boston, I walked into the Boston Navy Yard and they took one look at me and they said, "You're going back on the train, you're headed for New York." So that was fine with me. New York, I come, here I come. So when I walked into New York in the Brooklyn Navy Yard there, they looked at me and they said, "We have no room for you, but if you live within a 50-mile radius of Brooklyn, you can go home." So home I went to.
There you go. There you
Then
go.
I reported back in, then I got 30 days leave.
Nice. Very good. So then, after you got married, where did you live? Right here in this house,
No,
or
we
did
stayed
you?
at my mother and father's.
And where was that?
Rollstone Avenue.
Rollstone,
in West
on
Salem.
Rollstone.
Mhm.
And what was your maiden name, Velma? Hook.
Hook, H-O-E-K.
I know that name too. Hook in Salem here. Yeah. And how long did you stay there?
Oh, about a year and a half. Then we bought
Yeah.
a little house on John
Yeah,
Street in
Salem.
Sable. We
Okay.
stayed there a year, and then we had this house built, and we've been here ever since.
I bought this property while I was in the service this year from the man that lived next door, John North.
Uh-huh.
I bought this
Who
property.
built the house?
Stealing,
Pete Steenland.
Okay. And then you had how many children? 2?
too.
2 children.
First
Boy
a girl
and a
and
boy.
then a boy.
Okay. And so,
And the girl is, I guess, older than you.
yeah,
No,
Valerie is.
Not quite.
No,
Yeah.
no.
She's 67.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I'm 70, yeah. How, okay, so now tell me about the fire department here in West Salem. When did you join that?
What?
When
What's
did you
Salem?
join the fire department?
Fire department.
When I joined the fire department in 1946, because I'm a 68-year member, 67-year member, 67-year member of the fire department. I was chief of the fire department in the chief's ranks, from 1954 all the way to 1966
Wow.
in the chief's ranks. I was chief of the fire department 64 to 66.
That's a long time.
And
And were you ever on a racing team?
Oh, yeah.
Racing team? Did you do the racing team?
what was that again?
Were you ever on the racing team?
Yeah,
Flying Dutchman?
I was captain of the racing team
Oh
too.
my gosh.
Yeah.
What did you run? When did you,
1946 all the way for near 20 years to 1960 something. I ran
my God.
on a team.
You must have been driving the truck at 1967.
Well, I got it all planned. When I die,
They gotta take you under the structure?
No, no. No, there's one fellow that I was in charge of the juveniles here. And I got a bunch of juveniles who a lot of them became chiefs and commissioners and everything. And they're like my second children.
There you go.
They treat me very good. They take good care of me. Right now that my legs are crumpled up, they see I get home and I get to the firehouse, everything. And one of them is going to be the chauffeur of one of the racing trucks that I ran on
God.
to take me when I die to the cemetery.
That's
I
the way to
got
do
that
it.
all. We got that
That's-
all planned out.
You got nothing to say about that one, huh?
No, she doesn't have nothing to say about that.
It's got all
That's
written
already
down.
all set up.
Good for you. Good for you.
So
So, but
that's,
tell me, did you run like 3-man ladder or pumper? What did you do? Was there a pumper when you first started?
Yeah.
Did
What
have
did
a
you
pumper?
do on the racing team, Stanley?
racing everything you could think of. I ran everything. Spiked, I ran on the nozzle, and I ran in a pump race. Every race, I was in every race there was.
Did you go on a C truck? C truck?
C and B truck.
C and B. Ah,
Both. Both trucks.
love those C trucks.
In other words, I ran on the speed and
Yeah,
the slow, wasn't
I know,
it?
yeah.
And I also ran foot races too.
Oh yeah?
And then, like when I used to train the juveniles, I used to run with them, and they couldn't understand why an old man like me could keep up running with them.
And now your legs don't work.
You
Now
went
my
around too
legs don't
soon.
work.
But that's something.
It's finally caught up to me.
That's something. I'm gonna go back to your grandfather. Now he started the fire department in Bohemia, didn't he? Wasn't he one of the first foremen?
My grandfather,
His father was.
well, it's right in that book, when they organized the fire department. That was my grandfather and I think some other.
Yeah.
They organized the fire department. That was in 1891, I think it is.
Yeah,
Bohemia Fire Department.
I know it was before Sable.
Yeah.
It was formed before
Yeah.
Sable's fire department. That I know.
1891, I think it was, that they were organized. And then they had the hand-drawn
They had a hand-drawn wagon.
hook and ladder. In fact, I have pictures right here somewhere of the hand